There's a moment when silence grows too loud to ignore. For me, it started with a door I thought only I had the key to, and what came next changed everything. My name is Camille Rourke, and if you asked anyone in Portland's Southeast District who I am, they'd probably say, the Wine Lady. I don't mind. I worked hard for that nickname. After a bitter divorce at 29 and 2 years of couch surfing while working 3 jobs, I opened Rourke Cellars, a cozy wine boutique with local labels, imported rare finds, and a tasting room that smells like cedar and quiet confidence. It's not big, but it's mine. Every shelf, every spotlight, every reclaimed oak barrel was placed with intention. That morning, I arrived earlier than usual. The forecast said rain, and I wanted to cover the sidewalk planters before the storm hit. I unlocked the front door, or tried to. It was already unlocked. A strange chill settled in my chest. I stepped inside, my boots echoing on the wood floors. The scent of lavender and Cabernet still lingered, but so did something else. Confetti, lipstick on a wine glass, a half-empty bottle of my most expensive vintage Le Papillon Rouge sat uncorked on the bar counter. My heart skipped. I looked around and found the event logbook, where every private booking should be recorded. The last entry was mine, from 3 days ago. No mention of last night, no name, no payment, no approval. The camera system. I pulled out my phone and scrolled to the motion alerts from the night before. At 9:43 p.m., a group of women walked into the store, all smiles and heels and expensive laughter. Leading them was my half-sister Tessa, holding a wine glass like it was a trophy. Tessa, 10 years younger, child of my father's second marriage, influencer, sometimes model, always in transition. She had a key. She used my boutique like it was hers. By 10 a.m., I'd cleaned up the last of the glitter from between the floorboards and wiped down the bar until my arm ached. I kept thinking, maybe she didn't mean to. Maybe it was just a misunderstanding. But then I opened the register. $480 in wine gone. No notes, no payment, no receipts. Tessa hadn't borrowed the space. She'd taken it. I didn't call her. Not yet. I needed facts, not excuses. So I opened my laptop, checked the inventory software, and found 2 more unlogged nights, last Thursday and the Saturday before. Dozens of bottles missing. No bookings, no payments. 3 mystery events under my roof, in my name, on my dime. That's when my phone buzzed. Mom, I hesitated, but curiosity won. Camille, she said brightly, like nothing had happened. Sweetheart, are you free for brunch this Sunday? Tessa wants to talk to you about something. She's got this amazing opportunity, and she thought... She threw a party in my store last night, I interrupted, calm but flat. She broke in, stole inventory, and pretended it was hers. A long pause. Then, the sigh. That disappointed mom sigh I knew too well. Oh, honey, don't be so dramatic. She told me you were letting her host a few tastings to build her portfolio. I didn't. Well, maybe you forgot. You're always so busy, Camille. Her tone sharpened. She said you promised her a key months ago, that you were going to mentor her. I stepped outside, where the rain had begun to fall in soft waves against the sidewalk. My voice was quiet, but steel hard. She made a copy, Mom. I gave her the spare once when the alarm system glitched. She copied it and never told me. That's theft. She's your sister, Mom said. She's just trying to get on her feet. She used me. Again. Like she did with the car I co-signed when she was 21. Like she did with the deposit money I lent her, just for 1 month. Like she did when she told her friends I was bankrolling her online wine business. A business that didn't even exist. Mom didn't respond. I could hear her breathing, tight and restrained, like she wanted to say something cruel but was trying to sound maternal. Maybe if you weren't so controlling, she muttered finally, people wouldn't have to go behind your back. There it was. I hung up. And just like that, the line between boundaries and betrayal became crystal clear. That night, I found the second key. It was in the drawer under the espresso machine, tucked between loose corks and old receipts. A shiny silver duplicate taped to a neon sticky note that read, "Just in case. T." Not hidden, not even disguised, like it was hers by right. I held it between my fingers, cold and small, and all I could think was, how many things in my life had been taken with a smile and a note like that? I sat down on the tasting room couch, lights low, bottle of Malbec unopened beside me, and finally let myself feel it. Not just the anger, that came easy, but the years of accommodating, shrugging things off, making peace first, because it was easier than being the difficult one. I thought about all the holidays where I footed the bill, the way Mom used to say, "You're the strong one, Tessa's sensitive." The time I came home from college to find my bedroom repainted and repurposed for Tessa's YouTube studio, and every time I pushed back, I was told, family helps family. But it was never help. It was extraction. At 9:17 p.m., I called the locksmith. By 10:04, every lock was changed. I didn't text Tessa, I didn't explain, and for the first time in years, I didn't feel guilty about it. The next morning, I arrived to find a handwritten note taped to the boutique's front door. It was in red lipstick, scribbled across a wine menu. "Wow, dramatic much? You didn't have to change the locks. I just wanted a little support, but fine. Run your dusty little shop alone. See if I care." T.S. There was no apology, no shame, just wounded entitlement, wrapped in sarcasm. The next morning, I arrived to find a handwritten note taped to the boutique's front door. It was in red lipstick, scribbled across a wine menu. "Wow, dramatic much? You didn't have to change the locks. I just wanted a little support, but fine. Run your dusty little shop alone. See if I care." T.S. There was no apology, no shame, just wounded entitlement, wrapped in sarcasm. I peeled it off slowly, folded it twice, and dropped it into the shredder. Then I posted a new sign in the boutique window. Private tastings by appointment only, no exceptions. That day, I finally stopped playing the good sister and started protecting the woman who built this place with her own two hands. 3 days passed without a word. Then, out of nowhere, my assistant Mia texted me a link. "Is this real?" I clicked. It was a Facebook post. Tessa, wearing burgundy silk, holding a wine glass. Behind her, my storefront. The caption read, "Excited to announce the soft launch of Tessa Rourke Selections, a new tasting experience curated with love, heritage, and bold female energy. First pop-up this Friday. DM for invites." I stared at the screen, numb. She'd stolen not just the wine, not just the key. Now she was trying to rebrand my identity as her own. The comments poured in. "Finally, a woman-led wine biz in SEPDX. This is why we love you, Tessa. You hustle. You and Camille make such a great sister duo. Powerhouse." Powerhouse? She hadn't even texted me in 72 hours. Hadn't mentioned the lock change. Hadn't asked for permission. I clicked on her profile, and there it was. A slick, new, itchy website with my tasting room photos, my descriptions, even my philosophy of pairing. Text, word for word, under a section titled Our Mission. I sat in stunned silence, then called my lawyer. "Send everything," she said without hesitation. "Screenshots, receipts, timestamps. This is clear IP infringement, and if she's profiting off your business identity, it's also fraud." But that wasn't the worst part. That evening, while closing up, I noticed something on the back patio. A glossy black box, gift-wrapped with gold ribbon. No note. Inside, a custom wine label. Rourke Reserve, curated by Tessa. She had printed bottles. She had invested. She wasn't playing games anymore. I looked at that bottle, hands trembling. This wasn't a misunderstanding. This was an invasion. Slow, seductive, and sugar-coated in family. And that night I realized something else. I wasn't fighting for my brand. I was fighting for the right to exist without being cannibalized by someone who shared my blood. I didn't sleep that night. Instead, I sat at the kitchen island with a legal pad, writing down everything I could remember. Every dollar spent, every favor given, every lie swallowed in the name of keeping the peace. By morning, the pages were filled, not with rage, with clarity. At 8:46 a.m., I emailed my attorney the document and requested a cease and desist letter to be sent to Tessa's public website and social platforms. At 9:22, I filed a report with the city's Small Business Bureau, including screenshots of her unauthorized branding. At 10:03, I called my father. He picked up on the third ring, voice groggy. "Camille?" "I'm done," I said. "Tessa is impersonating me. She's using my store, my brand, my face, and no one's stopping her. So I'm going to stop her. You need to know this isn't just a fight between sisters. It's fraud." A pause, then the familiar shuffle of discomfort. "She's struggling, Cam. You've always been the stable one. I thought maybe if she shadowed you a bit, learned how you do things." "Shadowed me?" My voice cracked. "She's selling my product with fake labels, Dad. She printed wine bottles with my family name on them and listed her Venmo in the caption. That's not shadowing, that's identity theft. She just wants to feel like she belongs to something. So she took what I built instead of building her own." There was silence. "Camille," he said softly, "maybe she wouldn't act this way if you were a little more open. You've always kept her at a distance." And that's when I snapped. I kept her at a distance because every time I let her close, she took something. My car, my time, my name, my store. You all keep saying I'm the lucky one, the one with the thick skin and the strong back, but you never ask on what it costs to be the one who's fine. He didn't respond. So I said the words I'd written and rewritten in my head for years. I'm not her keeper, I'm not her excuse, and I'm not the next inheritance waiting to be drained. Then I hung up. Later that afternoon, I drove to the printing company Tessa had used for her fake wine labels. It was listed at the bottom of one of her Instagram stories. I showed the manager a cease and desist letter. His eyes widened and he apologized before promising to cancel all pending orders. By 4 p.m., Tessa's website had been taken offline. By 6 o'clock, I received a text. "You seriously went nuclear? Over a few tastings? This is why no one sticks around you. You're always on guard." I didn't reply, because Albert guarded isn't the insult she thinks it is. Guarded means I finally understand the value of my own work. Guarded means the store stays mine. 1 week later, the final invoice for the legal action came through. I paid it in full with a quiet sense of satisfaction. No one else tried to contact me. Not Mom, not Dad, not Tessa. At first, the silence was unnerving, like waiting for a second earthquake after the first one splits the ground. But slowly, it began to feel like peace. On Sunday morning, I walked through the boutique before opening hours. The sun poured through the front windows, soft and golden, lighting up the rows of curated bottles like they were something holy. I paused at the front door and ran my hand over the new keypad lock we'd installed. Fingerprint only. Only mine. That day, I hosted the first ever quiet tasting. No parties, no social media, no influencers. Just 6 women who'd booked through email, each one rebuilding something in her own life. A retired teacher starting a candle company, a new mom leaving corporate for art, a cancer survivor launching a homegrown olive oil brand. As they sipped wine and shared stories in the stillness of the tasting room, I realized something. This store, this life, was never supposed to be a performance. It was supposed to be a refuge. Not just for me, but for women like me, women tired of giving and being taken from. After the tasting, one guest lingered behind, a quiet woman in her 50s with silver-streaked hair and kind eyes. "Camille," she said, "thank you for this space. You know, you remind me of my sister." I braced instinctively. She used to let everyone walk over her, too, until one day she stopped picking up the phone. Everyone called her selfish, but I think that was the moment she got her life back. She smiled. "I'm glad you did, too." I didn't cry. Not then. But I felt something unlock inside, something gentle and solid, like a door finally closing with a satisfying click. That night, I stood on the back patio, watching the string lights sway in the breeze above the grapevines. I raised a glass to no one, to everyone, to the version of me who finally stopped apologizing for having boundaries. Tessa had the second key, but she never had the blueprint. I built this life, and no one gets to rewrite my name on it again. In the end, I didn't just change the locks. I rewrote the blueprint. This life, this space, this peace, it's mine now, and I don't owe it to anyone. If my story felt familiar, you're not alone. Follow this channel for more stories that remind us it's okay to close the door and still move forward.